redirect, control, attack, takeaway. It works, and I'm gonna show you why. Hey, what's up, everybody? Once again, my name is DJ, doing what I do, sitting back here on a Monday, you know, chilling. And actually, it's not Monday, but that's my catchphrase, and I am sticking to it. All right, cool. So this video is going to be for one of three audiences. Number one, my Krav Maga practitioners. Number two, my Krav Maga naysayers. And most importantly, number three, Mr. Tim Larkin, the author of When Violence is the Answer. This is a response video. About 3 weeks ago, or 2 weeks ago, Mr. Tim Larkin put out a video and on YouTube, and it was called, I have it up on my screen, it was called Don't Fall for Cool Self-Defense Acronyms. Target Focus Training by Tim Larkin. Don't fall for cool self-defense acronyms. And what he was talking about is our Krav Maga gun defense or gun disarm protocol. RCAT, redirect, control, attack, takeaway. So he took what was a 15 to 20 second demonstration. An instructor did a 15 to 20 second demonstration. I'm going to talk about that instructor later on. And he broke that demonstration down, and he buried it. As a matter of fact, he tore it apart. Well, he tried to tear it apart, but his context was all off. He didn't get any of the contextual things that we do in redirect, control, attack, takeaway correct. So of course, I had to respond. So I was trying to think of how I was going to respond to this. Was I going to respond just talking like I'm talking now? Was I going to do my own live video? So I decided to do both. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my own live version or my own demonstration of redirect, control, attack, takeaway, and I'm going to break it all the way down for you so you will understand why it is that we do what we do and why it works, okay? Now, before I even go into that, let me tell you that I have a lot of respect for Tim Larkin. I love his book. I make sure that all of my instructors, matter of fact, it's mandatory that all of my instructors read his book before I even attempt to certify them, okay? I think it's an excellent book, but for this one, he dropped the mark. So, come on, we're gonna go to the Krav room and let's talk about it. All right. Keyed up, guys. Listen, we're back here at the Krav Maga studio, and again, this is a response video to Mr. Tim Larkin, who was talking about redirect, control, attack, takeaway. He said it's an acronym, and he was actually, you know, he didn't say these words, but he pretty much put it on the thumbnail that redirect, control, attack, takeaway will get you killed. So I'm here to tell you why that is incorrect. So we're going to go down each step that we do in this particular technique. This is a gun from the front technique. This is a gun threat. Now remember, this is not a gun attack. If this is a gun attack, bang, then I'll be dead, okay? This is a gun threat, okay? So let's talk about what I'm doing first. The first thing I want to do, the gun is on me, is I want to get out of the line of fire. I do that by what we call R, redirecting. It looks like so. My head. I'm getting out of the line of fire. I'm not trying to race his trigger finger. I'm not going to beat his trigger finger. I have to get to point A here to point B before he knows what I'm doing. If he sees what I'm doing, if he knows what I'm doing, then I'm dead. Like you have to look like you're inactive but you're really active, okay, art of war. You have to appear to be inactive when you're active, okay? So I need to move in a subtle way. It's not about moving quick, it's about moving subtle, okay? Go over this side. So my hand goes straight up, thumbs, fingers. My hand goes straight up to the weapon. As soon as I get close to the weapon, I move my head to the side and I further move the gun to the side. If it's to my body, as soon as I touch the weapon, I move my body to the side and I move the gun to the side. I have to get out of the line of fire. That is the most important thing to any disarm, okay? I've talked to a lot of Krav Maga instructors, a lot of black belt Krav Maga people, and we have debates on which one of the letters is the most important of the acronym. And some people say it's redirect and control. Some people say it's redirect and attack. Some people say it's redirect and take away. But conclusively, across the board, is always redirect first. If I don't get out of the line of fire, nothing else I do after this matters. I have to get out of the line of fire. I have to get out of the line of fire. Go to the rear. I have to get out of the line of fire. I have to get out of the line of fire before I do anything. That is what I'm doing. Now, when do I do it? I do it when I'm in a position to do it. As of right now, I'm too far away, okay? I can't get all the way to the weapon before he pulls the trigger. He's gonna see me coming. So I need to be in a position where I know I can redirect the weapon. We did some pressure testing with some airsoft guns. We put the goggles on and everything. We had a good time. And I found that when my hands was down, by the time I got here, he had pulled the trigger, okay? So I realized I need to be close to the weapon, which means that I have to do something to get myself close to the weapon, okay? One of the best times to go is when I'm talking. If I'm talking and there's going with the problems, then maybe I can get out of the line of fire before he pulls the trigger. Or maybe when he's talking, because people was tend to talk, they may be moving the weapon and stuff like that. It's harder when he's talking, but at least he's not shooting, okay? So you have to be in a position where you can actually do the technique, okay? So that's the what we do. And that's the when we do it. Now let's talk about why. Well, we've already said it. It should be obvious. If I don't get out of the line of fire, then nothing else that I do after that matters, because I'm gonna get shot. Okay? I have to get out of the line of fire. If you don't agree with the control, if you don't agree with the attack, if you don't agree with the takeaway, you've got to agree with the redirection. Okay? Okay, I want to talk about one more thing with the redirection. We know what I'm doing from the waist up or the hands up. I want to talk about what's going on down here. When I redirect the gun on me, please, once I redirect, notice how I load up on my right foot. A lot of people get this wrong. A lot of people, when they do it, they go this way, okay? If I go this way, notice how light my foot is. I can't burst forward. One of the principles of Krav Maga is to go forward, okay? Principles save your life, okay? So one of the principles is to go forward. I can't go forward if my weight is not on this foot. When I'm walking, I walk with my left hand, my right foot rolls up. My right hand, my left foot rolls up, okay? It's the way that we move. So once I redirect, my shoulder's gonna come forward. I redirect the weapon, so I'm about to burst forward. My weight is on my right foot. My weight is not on my left foot, okay? I admit that that may have been a flaw in the movement of the video that Mr. Tim was watching, okay? So that is my redirection. Now let's talk about the control. Can you wait on me? All right, now let's talk about the control. The control. Okay, I'm controlling the weapon. That's what I'm doing. However, when we talk about the control, we're talking about a moment in time. And I'll get into this a little later when we talk about the moment in time. But all of this happens in a moment in time. It's not going to be like redirect, stop for 10 seconds. Control, stop for 10 seconds. Attack, stop for 10 seconds. It's going to be pretty much it's going to be almost jumbled all together. But however, in this case, I am controlling the weapon, okay, as best I possibly can for this moment in time. Let's talk about when I control the weapon. I control the weapon after I get out of the line of fire. Now, again, when we talk about control, if redirecting is by far the most important, keep looking on me, please. If redirecting is by far the most important part of a gun disarm, getting out of the line of fire is the most important part of a gun disarm, then staying out of the line of fire has got to be the second most important thing in a gun disarm. If I get out of the line of fire and I don't stay out of the line of fire, then I shouldn't have gotten out of the line of fire in the first place. So the control is to stay out of the line of fire. I want to make sure that this weapon does not point back at me, okay? So that's the why. Let's get into the how. Come to this side, please. So after I've done my redirection, I've loaded up on my opposite side foot, in this case my right foot. I'm stepping toward him with my left foot. I'm stepping to the outside of his foot. My arm is going to be at a 90 degree angle going this way. My goal is to put weight on the weapon. Not all my weight, but weight on the weapon. The reason why I don't put all my weight on him is because I don't want to be off balance. If all my weight is on him and he moves, now I'm off balance. My weight's on the weapon, okay? As far as where it is, my fist is going to be in line in a perfect world because we know nothing happens perfectly, okay? But in a perfect world, the gun is going to be in line with my right hip. Now I have pretty good control over this weapon, but it's only a moment in time. So that is the what we're doing, that is the when we're doing it, that is the why we're doing it, and that is the how we're doing it, all right? So now we get to the infamous attack. Look on me, please. Swap. The attack. Let's talk about what I'm doing. My goal is to destroy his mainframe. My instructor, Master Gerald Dawson, told his definition of self-defense was when you turn someone's offense into defense. I want to become the attacker. When I redirect, I haven't done anything to him. When I control, although I may have moved him, I haven't done anything to him. The attack is everything. That's the what I'm doing. Now let's talk about when I'm doing it. I do it when I know I am out of the line of fire, and no matter what happens, I'm able to stay out of the line of fire. Well, let's talk about why I'm doing it. Well, we discussed this already. And you know what? Let me give a sidebar. For most of you watching this is going to be obvious. The first 2 times I did it, I punched past his face. I'm not going to punch past the bad guy's face. I know that most of you guys know this, but again, this is a response video. Tim Larkin actually made a comment that the guy punched past the face. It's a demo. Listen. Tay came up here, he's one of my black belts, he came up here on his day off, and you know, I'm not gonna punch Tay in his jaw. I'm not gonna break his jawline just to prove a point. Of course I punch past the face. Why would I punch him in the face when we're doing a demo? Anyway, I regress. Okay, so I've redirected, I've controlled, and now I'm attacking, okay? I attack when I know I can stay out of the line of fire, okay? The why I attack is because I need to destroy him. We have done this tests. We have watched plenty of videos. As a matter of fact, I know 2 people, 2 Krav Maga practitioners. One of them, both of them are school owners. and one of them is a ex-SWAT, and he had this happen to him. Both of them came back with the same story. They said they got to the redirect, they got to the control, and when they attacked, the bad guy was out. I mean, they knocked him out, boom, and they was with the gun was in their hand just like this. Okay, so we even have a name for this in Krav Maga. It's called the Save Your Life Punch. This is it. You have to destroy him. And if you don't destroy him the first time, then you do it again. But you have to destroy him. The attack is a big, huge part of our gun defense. Let's talk about the how. As you know by now, when you throw a punch, or when I throw a punch, I rotate my hips. I rotate my shoulders. I put my weight behind my punch. I take my fists. Now we can debate whether it's the top 2 knuckles. We can debate whether it's the bottom 3, but I want to make sure my wrist is nice and straight. And my father taught me 2 things about punching. The first thing he taught me is you never hit your target. You always hit through your target. You always hit through your target. You never hit your target, you always hit through your target, okay? So anytime I'm punching, I don't think about punching his face. My target is not the face. My target is not the throat. My target is what's behind it.
I knew that.
The second thing my father taught me is anytime I throw a punch at somebody, always aim for their throat. Chances are you're gonna miss and you're gonna hit them in the chin. On many of occasions, I have rotated my hips, rotated my shoulders, and I have punched for my target. And I have always aimed for the throat. And I got to a point where I can do that without my heart rate going up, which means I wasn't even stressed. I have rotated my hips, rotated my shoulders, and threw my punch, and I have never landed the punch in the throat, ever. I have always landed somewhere in the chin, but I've always aimed for the throat. What I'm saying is if my heart rate was going up, and trust me, if somebody had a gun on me, my heart rate would go up. I would be stressed. The chances of me rotating my hips, my shoulders, and throwing a punch and hitting him in the throat if I aim for it is gonna be low. Because I haven't been able to do it even when I'm not stressed. So when I am stressed, chances are I'm not gonna be able to hit that target. So what I emphasize to my students is rotate your hips, rotate your shoulders, and hit them in the mainframe as hard and as fast as possible. Because if I know if they spend time on trying to target, chances are they're gonna miss. And this ain't a punch you wanna miss. So that's the what we do. That is the when we do it. That's the why we do it, and that's also the how we do it. So now let's talk about the takeaway. The takeaway. Put the weapon on me, please, guys. Okay? The takeaway, the what we're doing. Well, we're taking the weapon away. Now, again, remember, this is a response video, okay? But I'm taking the weapon away. This is a part of the RCAT that has to happen. It has to happen at some point in time. I don't care what happens after I attack him. I don't care if he stumbles backwards. I need to take this weapon. I don't care if I hit him so hard so many times that he falls down and he's knocked out cold. I need to take this weapon. I don't care if I see the Grim Reaper come and take the soul out of his body. I still need to take the weapon. The only way that I can take this weapon is to bring it to me. All right, cool. So let's talk about the technique, okay? Because good techniques will save your life. Bad principles will get you killed. Aha, you think I did that? All right. So the takeaway. You know why I'm doing it. I cannot leave him with the weapon. No matter what state he's in, I have to end this with me with the weapon. If I turn around, he's on the ground. If I turn and I think he's out cold and I think that I'm good, I start walking away and I'm wrong, then I'm dead. Even if he dropped the weapon. Okay? Which is, by the way, you know, why I want control over the weapon. I don't even want him to drop the weapon. Now, mind you, I would rather him drop the weapon and not have it than him have it. But I would rather have this gun under control, because once this weapon falls on the ground, it may go off. Oh, I know what y'all gonna say. Most guns have the drop safe and all that type of stuff. But do you want to trust that with your life? I wouldn't even trust a brand new SIG 320 out the box and drop it. So you know I'm not going to trust Pookie and Ray Ray's gun, okay? So I don't even want to drop on the ground, but if it does drop on the ground, and I know he dropped the gun on the ground because I hit him that hard and I'm good, I go to walk away, he picked the gun up, and I am dead. So I have to take away the weapon. So let's go into the how I'm doing it. Once I have control over this weapon, once I have attacked him, the takeaway is two things. The takeaway is A, the easiest part, but B, the most dangerous. It's the easiest part because I'm not going to take this weapon away until I have softened him up enough to do it. Hopefully, knocked him out cold. But it's the most dangerous if I do it incorrectly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my hand, I'm going to the back of the weapon. And what I have is sort of a push-pull thing going on with the weapon. Now I'm going to pull the weapon back to my hip. If he does not let the weapon go, then that means I have some more striking to do. If he lets the weapon go, then I'll use the weapon as a blunt object, or I'll use my fist as a blunt object, or I'll go for my own weapon. We'll talk about that in a second. The controversy, well, actually not really controversy if you know what you're doing, but the controversy is when I pull the weapon, will I put the weapon back on me? The answer is, let's see. So Tay, I know we're doing a video, but I want you to really try to put the weapon back on me, okay? As soon as you feel me pull the weapon, I want you to try to put me back in the line of fire, okay? Yep. Hopefully we won't break this gun, okay? Ready? Yep. Go. Put the weapon back on me, put it back on me, put it back on me. Oh, we broke the gun, okay? That's okay, I have plenty more. But my point is, the gun wasn't pointing at me, okay? So, I'm keeping myself out of the line of fire. Now, I want you to put the weapon back on me. Try your hardest. Ready? Yeah. Go. All right, it's back on me. The reason why is because I took a step back. I gave him space. But if I don't take that step, then he can't put the weapon back on me. I don't care. You can try hard as he wants. Now, of course, this is going to be a moment of time. Because I'm not going to sit here and play tug of war with this gun. I'm going to do some more attacks, you know, to loosen him up until I can take the weapon. Furthermore, in training, we hold the weapon like we would never hold the weapon. Okay? Not sure if you can see this in the camera, but we hold the weapon like this instead of putting a finger in the trigger. That way, when we take the weapon, we don't hurt the finger. But in reality, you're actually holding the weapon with 3 fingers, because you don't hold a weapon with 4 fingers. The 4th finger, the strongest finger, is in the trigger. It's your trigger finger. You're holding the weapon with 3 fingers. So that means that when I go to take the weapon away, I'm only battling the 3 fingers. Possibly, I'm probably gonna take this weapon right out of his hand. What happens when I get the weapon? Well, one of the 2 most famous words in our industry, other than self-defense, is it depends. Well, it depends. Number one, whose weapon is it? Is it his weapon? Is it my weapon? And I say my weapon because we teach as a law enforcement officers, and a lot of time in a tussle, the bad guy will take the law enforcement's gun and point the law enforcement's gun back at him. So if he takes the weapon, he knows it's his weapon. He knows how to operate it. He knows it works. But maybe it's Pookie's weapon. I gotta go take Pookie's weapon, and this weapon don't even work. Or maybe I don't know anything about firearms. Okay? This is not the time to learn. Okay? What I do know is I can use this weapon as a blunt object, and I have other weapons I can use as well. That is the what we do as far as the takeaway. That is the when we do it as far as the takeaway. That is the why and the how. Redirect, control, attack, takeaway. But all of this is done in a moment in time. In real time, doing the whole thing, in real time, it won't be redirect, control, attack, takeaway. It'll be more like, a moment in time. All right, so we was talking about redirect, control, attack, takeaway. That was actually the subject of the video. We're not saying we have the best gun takeaways. We're not saying that we have the greatest gun takeaways. There's other things out here. There's the 3Ds. There's a lot of other things out here. But what I wanted to do is let you know why we do what we do and why it is effective. We have to redirect. We have to get out of the line of fire. We have to control. We have to stay out of the line of fire. We have to attack, and we have to attack with a vengeance. And we have to take away the weapon. Redirect, control, attack, take away. Or redirect, control, attack, disarm. RCAT or RCAT. It's our principles of Krav Maga. The principles of Krav Maga is to keep things simple. And why do we have principles? Because techniques, bad techniques, will get you killed. Principles, good principles, will save your life. All right, so that's pretty much it in a nutshell. And when I say in a nutshell, I really mean in a nutshell, because even with the detail that I gave, you still need more. You still have to take a class, okay? You can't learn how to do something from just watching a video. Okay, especially a small video. Okay, when you come and do classes with us, you might do. We may spend a good half hour on the redirect. We may spend another half hour on the control. Another half hour on the takeaway. I'm sorry, the attack. Another half hour on the takeaway, and then we put it all together. Then we drill it, and then we get your heart rate up. It can't just be in a quick video and think you understand everything that we do, okay? Now, I want to talk real quick about where I learned what I do and who I learned it from. I had several good instructors. One of those instructors was a gentleman named John Pascal. Now, John Pascal is an outstanding instructor. As a matter of fact, he is a former LA County Sheriff, and he goes all over the country teaching law enforcement to do exactly what we just talked about. And John Pascal, I mean, I had heard so many good things about John Pascal. Everybody had so many great things to say about him. Matter of fact, if you've ever trained with John Pascal, put it in the comments below. I've never heard anybody say anything about John Pascal negative as far as his courses go. When I took a class with John Pascal, I was prepared to be disappointed. I was prepared to be disappointed. The reason why I said because there's no way no one can uphold, can stand up to that much of a reputation. I said, it's no way he's going to be that good. And he was better. So the reason why I'm mentioning John Pascal, because John Pascal happened to be the guy in the video that Tim Larkin was talking about. Now, I admit that wasn't his best work. And I will say that I think that video was shot probably 5-10 years ago, judging by, me looking at the video. I'm not sure when it was shot, but I know it wasn't shot like yesterday. Okay, it was a long time ago. But John Pascal is an excellent instructor. However, I know for a fact that Tim Larkin has never, ever taken a course, a Krav Maga course, a Krav Maga gun disarm course from John Pascal. As a matter of fact, I bet Tim Larkin has never taken a Krav Maga course, period. And that's fine, because I'm sure John Pascal has never taken a course from Tim Larkin. What's a shame is Tim probably never will take a Krav Maga course. And John Pascal probably never will take a target focus training course. The shame of the matter is two things that self-defense people do in our industry when they are trying to promote their services or their product. Number one, they attack everybody else and tell you why everybody else shit won't work. And number two, they disregard everybody else and don't even act like it exists. And that's a shame, because what we, the people in our Krav Maga industry, need to do in order to form a more perfect union is get together and work together and collaborate. That way we can use what we can, disregard what we can, and adapt what's uniquely our own so that one can walk in peace. But unfortunately, that's not how it goes down. But anyway, Tim, listen, man, if you're still watching this video, I would love to discuss this with you. Maybe we can do a podcast together. I mean, I'm not sure if you talk to people as low on the totem pole as I am, but if you do, I'd love to discuss it with you, okay? And if not, just do what you do to the best of your ability, all right? Peace. I'm out. Oh, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Like, comment, subscribe, and get my book, Self-Defense, Why Even Bother? How, Why, and What to Learn to Protect Yourself. And get Tim's book. It's a good book, When Violence is the Answer. All right? Peace. I'm out.